Well, a couple weeks ago I posted a video where I was skiing with John S. Kepler, and partway through the video we were examining a mystery divot in the snow. And I see some really strange things, but I for the life of me have no idea. It's probably 3 feet long.
It's got to be a bird.
Yeah, it'd have to be a bird making a dive, maybe to catch a rabbit.
But there's no rabbit tracks.
We couldn't figure out exactly what created it. It sort of baffled me, and we didn't know whether it was a fox or a bird. And I liked John's explanation that it was a crop circle. But lo and behold, a week later, Julie was skiing over here at the Fish Creek ski area and had an interesting experience. I think it explains exactly what it was. But I think I'll let her tell it in her own words.
Hi everyone. It was quite an experience. This trail that you see today was the trail that I set a couple days ago after a big storm and extremely cold weather, below zero and that. And I was setting trail here, and over ahead of me is where there's a hill, and the snow was completely pristine. There were no marks in it or anything. And I was skiing down the hill, and all of a sudden, like within 2 inches in front of my right ski and 2 inches in front of my left ski, fly these grouse. I was so startled because they just flew up out of the ground. They waited till the last minute.
It's important to realize that they were actually under the snow. They were in on their nice little cave, snow cave, and she couldn't, there was no evidence from the surface at all.
There was nothing on the top of the snow. There was no divot, there was nothing.
It just looked like perfect, pristine snow, and then they just popped out of the snow like a jack-in-the-box.
It really startled me. At first I wasn't quite sure, and then I realized it was two birds.
Yeah.
And they were snuggled down in there together. I'm sure it was very warm.
Yeah. Well, we'll never know for sure if that's what created that divot up there.
Oh my gosh.
But it's sounding more and more likely. And
let's put it this way, folks. I was happy it was birds and not something else that had hibernated for the winter in the snow. So.
And it's really funny. I had forgot all about that characteristic. And when we lived up in Alaska, the ptarmigan do exactly the same thing. That they burrow underneath the snow, and they'll weather out a storm, and then they'll pop out in the morning.
I got to get back to breaking trail here again. It's age before beauty, folks.
Anyway, we have a couple different kinds of grouse here in Wyoming, and the ones in your video are the ruffed grouse. But we also have the dusky grouse, and I've seen those quite often around here, and they exhibit the same behavior. They'll burrow under the snow and stay warm and then pop out the next day. And I think that kind of explains the divot that we saw. Even though we didn't see any wing prints, if the timing was just right and they emerged in the morning and had a little bit of wind or some fresh snow, their wing tracks probably were obscured. So mystery solved, although I like the idea of the mysterious crop circle. I think it's a much more terrestrial solution. Well, be sure to stay tuned. I've got a lot more videos in the queue, and I know a lot of places in the country people are starting to think about spring. But we still have snow here, and we're going to be skiing for a while. And even if you don't have snow, try and enjoy the beauty that we have here in Northwest Wyoming. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and be curious. You never know what you're going to see or experience.